Hey, Crown Publishing content followers, viewers, and supporters and listeners. Thank you for clicking on my video again today to see what it is I have to say. I have chosen to come on live again and give my reaction to the uh, Sade Robinson story at this time. I just I know it's been quite some time now, anywhere from 30 to 45 days, maybe even 60, since the early releases or the first releases of news articles about this story. I'm almost lost for words. Not because I don't understand the story. As with any crime case, it might take a while before all the puzzle pieces kind of fit and everybody understands everything. But this is one of those stories that, unfortunately, uh, there are still inconsistencies. Or, for example, ladies and gentlemen, this guy, Mr. Maxwell Anderson, okay, he is the alleged perpetrator in her disappearance, her unaliving, and just flat out inhumane crime against her life. Okay, if he's found guilty. But I need to go back and check something out, because the last update I saw was that Sade Robinson's parents are currently pleading, or have been pleading, with Maxwell Anderson's parents to convince their son to confess where her remains are. So I'm going to stay in positive thoughts and prayers with them too. Now, the story is stating at this time too, on the last update I saw, that he's pleading not guilty. And in my opinion, this is just my reaction, my expression and opinions about real stories and topics across the globe that affect us all, either directly or indirectly. In my opinion, him deciding not to plead not guilty there could be a whole reason for that. I'm just reminding everybody to slow down. Let's stop, think about this story here for a second. Because he couldn't possibly, even if his parents convinced him or pleaded with him to uh, express the truth for the justice of Miss Sade Robinson and her family. You see what I'm saying? Even if they tried to plead with him to get that information, um, him pleading not guilty, that's a problem. I know I'm probably seem to be stating the obvious. Is it because he's simply not guilty? It says he's working with his lawyer, but that his lawyer is just simply denying comments through this whole ordeal since April of 2024. Today's date marks May 26, 2024. Okay, so it's just this story is crazy to me because body part. First of all, the day after their first date night, she just never returns to work. She never returns home. She never, things begin to look off and funny to those close to her. They know if it's weird if you're not answering your phone for so long or whatever. They might want to see what's going on with your family and such. It says on 517, I'm referencing to a article published by Fox 6 News, Milwaukee. Okay, and they published this article 4 days ago from today's date. And this is just an update. Uh, Her family, Miss Sade Robinson's family, is pleading, you see what I'm saying, with the public, with as many as they can, with their resources, and also with Mr. Maxwell Anderson family to convince him to talk. Like, where are her remains? That's the least you can give us at this time. That's how the Anderson family feels at this time. I mean, the Robinson family feels at this time. Now, there's gaps here. He's pleading not guilty, but she still has yet to return home. She's still missing in limbs washed up shore, supposedly a beach. It's a lot going on here. It was either a beach or a lake. But see, they had went to allegedly different locations on that night before. Nobody had seen her the next day. And he's sitting here wondering why are you in question, sir? Well, most times you will be if you were one of the last people to be seen with the victim. The victim also expressed to people at work, you know how you're excited for a date? This is what I heard about this story and read and researched. Like how you're kind of excited about a first date. I'm a reveal some more information from my research cuz I thought this was like the father, guys, the father stated in a article recently that that guy that the news is showing and that has been apprehended and that is in questioning for what happened to his daughter, he says that guy is not his daughter's type from what he's known his daughter, who he's known her to be, who he knows his daughter as. I said, I wonder is that a piece of information people are overlooking? Because that is really strange. Because talk about opposites attracting, it's a real thing. It's a real connection that happens between two, three, maybe even four people sometimes. I mean, there's no limit in relationships today. People really claim they confuse me. They say four is a letter word 1 minute, love is a four-letter word, and the next minute they say love is colorblind, love knows no race. Because with this situation, it is what it is. Mr. Maxwell Anderson, this guy here, he is a different race. Just so happened this would have been considered a biracial date meeting. Okay, meeting date, and their very first, yes, that little piece of information there too is very vital. Oh, the last update I saw about this case, the family was still waiting on testing to be done. I don't know how these things work on the medical education side of things, but or terminology, but I can understand it in these words. They are awaiting testing, Miss Sade Robinson's family, of limbs that were found spread out across. This is really sad. Milwaukee County. That's that's very sad. Dismembered body pieces. Yet at the same time, the family of the victim is pleading with the perpetrator's family to find out where, like, sir, at this point, that's my reaction to this story. You need to go ahead and help this family out and help this lady rest in peace and help the family with where the rest, because he's in jail, so I don't know. And I just, this is just my opinion. It's the highest disrespect to plead not guilty. The least you could do, talk about your sentencing and what you're going to do to change your life later, but the least you could do is plead guilty. But y'all, this man at this time is just still not doing that. So, what do y'all think about this story? Leave it in the comment section. I mean, because the update is overall, they still have not found all of her remains. The dad is saying that this guy doesn't even look like her type. I said that is some interesting. The dad of Miss Sade Robinson, the missing victim. What do y'all think about that? As parents out there of young 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, hell, even 40-year-olds, if your child is old enough to date, all right, do you feel like right now you could tell the world your child's type? Who you think your child would and wouldn't be interested in? I bet a lot of you parents out there answer is yes. You think you know your child that well because he said this in a public statement. And God rest his daughter's soul. Because this story is sickening as a human being, but it's also sickening, as a black woman. And I'm trying to get clarification and understanding when it comes to this story. How does this happen on your first date night, regardless of if your dad is saying later after nobody can find you that guy seemed like not her type? And yes, from what I understand about this story, I she met this guy on a dating app. It never said which one. It might have been Tinder. I think I saw somewhere it was Tinder, but y'all correct me in the comment section. She met him on a social media app. It was some kind of social media app or dating app. Just from the Crown Publishing Content YouTube channel family to y'all's, to you guys is out there, excuse my Texas slang, be careful on these dating sites and apps. This happened to Miss Sade Robinson, allegedly. Uh, she hasn't even started living life yet. She was 19 years old. This happened on her first date with somebody. But I'm gonna sit that on the back of my mind. Dad is saying that this guy doesn't even seem like somebody she would have went out with. And I feel like people need to listen to the dad about that. I bet that is saying something. Like, did she think she was meeting with someone else, guys, and then she saw him? And because the news stories will tell you when you research this story that they GPS tracker or whatever they looked at shows they went to multiple spots. You know how you on a date with somebody. They went to more than one place. Maybe they had this on uh camera footage. They were able to see too them go to public places. But going to somewhere like uh lake or beach, I feel like men have truly these type of stories have truly took the fun out of wanting to go to places like that. Bodies of water, lakes. Because I would say you still have to be careful in broad daylight going on dates with stranger. Either way you look at it, but at least you're in public. Like you're in public, you're out eating, you're at the movies, you're somewhere where there's more people than just you and that person. Come on now, you just met the person. It's never been more of a time in history or generation, another generation where the date is at each other's homes than now. What do I mean? They have a whole term today called Netflix and chill because it's actually a reference to more so intimate couples. Anybody can Netflix and chill, don't get me wrong, but it's like everybody knows that this term is used a lot when it comes to intimate relationships or dating culture and things like this. Um, it's like a normal thing. People meet, they meet the first day, second day, and they go to each other's houses. I didn't say it was right, but that's not. I'm just trying to see what's going on because her dad is saying now that guy, this gentleman, Mr. Maxwell Anderson, is not even his daughter's type. Maybe, maybe we don't know our kids like we think we do, or maybe we do. And that's the side I'm listening to this grieving parent story as well. I'm listening to him because I'm pretty sure dad, is this just something, he could be saying out of pain, loss, grief right now, that this is not her type, of course. A murderer, a man like this, if he is guilty, that shouldn't be anybody's type. It wouldn't be anybody's type. So can we really say the ones we love the most that we know what their type is, what their type might be, what their, you know what I'm saying? Regardless, you have to be careful what I get out of the story on dating apps and social media apps, because maybe that wasn't her type, but it was still a gentleman she met. That's number one. Number two, she could have been catfished, and this happened to her. Just because they went to different locations to hang out doesn't mean that she was safe the whole time. What if you're being blackmailed to stay in the car and hang out with somebody that day? Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very sad story. Imagine being blackmailed, even if you're being catfished. It's like being catfished isn't enough. You should get the justice of getting to choose at the moment of being catfished. Because I hear what her dad is saying, that this didn't seem like her type of gentleman to choose. That's another thing. Y'all know this guy Maxwell Anderson is like 33 years old. Victim here that's just been missing and ain't came back home since she went out with him was only 19. I am listening to what the dad had to say about this. Her dad, the victim's dad, Miss Sade Robinson. I'll say her name. We'll still say her name. But this is one of those avoidable. They've taken the fun out of dating in the culture, in the society of dating today in America. They have truly taken the spark and fun out of it to me. What are y'all opinions? Leave them in the comment section. Hit that like button to show your support as well. But that's what it. These stories leave me feeling eerie. You don't want to go anywhere alone. Y'all think y'all? I'm sure the dad knows what he's talking about. He raised her to be observant, aware, as bright, and I'm sure as smart as she could be. She had a job. She's starting her life off. She's 19. You're old enough to be on dating sites? What's really going on? But dad feels like this is not somebody. Y'all like, how many times she gonna say that? Because I just feel like that's an interesting part of this story. There was an age difference. Do y'all feel like she consentently? We don't know, but we want to stay in positive thought and prayers for this family to get justice, because maybe he had nothing to do with her disappearance at all. Maybe his story is that he dropped her off and he don't know what happened after that. Y'all know how this goes. But maybe there was evidence that led to detectives to believe otherwise. He's sitting in jail. That's why I say when it get this far, why not go ahead and just admit they might can help you, brother. The most help you can still get. Some people feel like you don't deserve a life if you took a life. We don't know, but he knows something. He knows something. If he was last seen with her, they say she was discussing. Oh, that's what I was saying. Like you excited for a date, you might talk to your neighbors. They mentioned a neighbor she mentioned. That was good what she did. She, but you can go further, ladies. In my opinion, just a tip of advice, and we all should tip each other. It used to be just the strippers and dancers and prostitutes that had to look over their shoulders and backs in these streets. But by God, it seems like just being a woman today is also a reason that you have to do such. Because how does your first date night turn into Nobody ever seeing you again. Your first date night with somebody you ain't never met. I know some of y'all got love stories out there where you say you only were with somebody 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you got married, and love knows no time frame. But to each their own. I say for safety reasons, you should not be going to places like rivers, lakes. Be aware, ladies. Like, you just meet a man, don't go to a place like that with him. Y'all need to stay out in public where people can see you guys. Public places, a park, a restaurant. Like, why do you want to take me out to the woods camping or to do weird stuff like that? Like, what's y'all opinions? Leave it in the comment. I'm not saying camping is weird. That's not what I'm saying. I would say it's weird. Like, if I just met you, like, that's a very vulnerable place, sir. Like, if you lose me in these woods, there's bears, snakes, all kind of creatures out here. I just met you. I'm supposed to put my whole safety in your hands. You know what I mean? Don't let me have the family out there, the kids. So I just wouldn't. Maybe they were just supposed to go to a burger joint together and they ended up, because the story's going to tell you they went to multiple locations, as I was saying. And I said she did a good job. And that point of advice again is like, yeah, you need to tell somebody where you're going. Have that man know where he's taking you before the hell, because y'all just met. Like with this girl in this story. That way you could tell your neighbors she did good being excited, telling people about the date. That way people at least had a goddamn idea where you what you, because if we just don't see you again, what? What? Did you tell somebody something, a location, an address, a phone number? I used to hate to do it because I'm a really private person. But I would give that information to at least a person or two if I'm going to go out on a date or even just a night on the town by my damn self. You got to be careful. You're a woman. Times have changed. You can't, y'all didn't hear about the young lady? What, she was a twin, but one of them got hurt, shot because she declined giving a man her phone number. Thank you guys for tuning in to another segment with the Crown Publishing Content YouTube channel family. We're publishing and marketing me. I'm going to come back with a part two to this topic because we have to talk about safety on dating apps and while we're out on dates. It's just that these times have approached us and we have to talk about this. I'm Arthur Podcaster Tetasheri. Hit that like button to show your support of the Crown Publishing Content YouTube channel.